Hello students, in previous class we discussed about the seasons, different seasons. Now I will tell you about the Indian traditional seasons and its names. Let us write it down. Traditional Indian seasons. In a tabular form I will write it. The first column is seasons, second one months according to Indian calendar, third column months according to Western calendar. The first season Vasanta. According to Indian calendars, its names were Chaitra, Vaisakha. According to Western calendar, the months March and April. Second one Grishma, and according to Indian calendar these are called Jyeshtha, Ashadha. The names of Western months May and June. Third month Varsha. Shravan and Bhadrapada. Bhadrapada. And the Western months July, August. The next month Sharad, Sharad Rutu, Asweza, Kartika. The months September and October. Hemanta. Hemant Ritu. Margasira, Pushya. Western months November and December. Last month Sisira. Magha, Phalguna. Western months January, February. There is a slight variation in these months and these rutus in northern part of our country and south part of our country. Usually the changes of the months in north part, they follow the full moon day, whereas in the southern part the people follow the new moon day. There is a slight variation in following the months in India. The next part of the lesson is about global warming. Before discussing about the global warming, we need to discuss here about the atmosphere. A thin layer of different gases covered completely whole over the earth part, and which is providing us many benefits, many beneficial aspects. That is, the first one is the oxygen we breathe. Can you imagine without oxygen? No, not at all. So the oxygen which are breathing today or living happily is nothing but one part of our earth or atmosphere, which is continuously making us to live, possible to live. Second one, the ozone layer that protect us from the harmful UV rays, ultraviolet sun's rays. Here these solar radiation that we call as insolation, that means incoming solar radiations. The sun's rays whichever are coming or received by the earth part is called insolation. Again these rays are after falling here returning back, which you call as radiation. And these sun's rays not only radiates back but along with different kind of pollutions also, and which you call as greenhouse effect. So we are protected by the ozone layer from this UV rays, and the radiation which is going back is trapped by this ozone layer and along with different kind of pollution also. Then come to the third one, the nitrogen that our plants make proteins. And nitrogen, the day I have told you that 78% of nitrogen is present there, and which is helping for the plants to make proteins, photosynthesis. The last one, which is very important, keeping us warm. Here the sun's rays and which are coming through the different layers of the atmosphere, keeping us warm. Or else once you imagine, if the atmosphere is not there and the thin layer of different gases are not covered, here once you imagine our earth might have been completely a cool region and might have been it is not possible to live happily. Since 19th century, our world has been warming up continuously. That may be since industrial revolution. This is the result of industrial revolution, the global warming, and the effect of global warming today is not only leads to the catastrophic changes in climate, but different kind of diseases also. The global warming is due to human activities. Global, I have written here AZW, it means anthropogenic global warming. Human activities, anthropogenic means due to human activities. So the first one here is the largest contribution is burning fossil fuels, where that is human did, and most of the part of our the natural resources. Second one, industrial pollution, and after industrial revolution, whole the world we are going through the different kind of establishing of industries, and which is emitting the pollutants and different kind of pollution, and that is the most effective part of the global warming, by which the temperature is increasing day by day and the atmosphere is also polluting. Third one, increasing of population, one of the very important factor for the global warming. Day by day in our country and whole the world, population is increasing. If we will see in our country, according to the 2011 census, the last census, density of population in our country is 382 persons per square kilometer. And like that, if you will see, the density of population of West Bengal and Delhi is the highest in our country, and the least is Arunachal Pradesh. Day by day, anyhow, the density population is more in most of the cities in our country, along with the at present in even in the semi-urban places also. This is very important part, and where if the population is increasing, naturally they will establish the industries, and the industries again emit the smoke, and their fossil fuels, the natural resources you are spoiling, and which causing again the atmospheric different kind of catastrophes. Next one is mining, establishing of nuclear power plants. Here mining which cause the atmospheric damage, and even the nuclear power plants are also causes the effect of the atmospheric problems. Then the next one is reckless deforestation, cutting of trees. Now and then with different reasons, for the different kind of use, we are go on cutting the forest, which leads to atmospheric, climatic, weather changes, and temperature is rising day by day due to deforestation. Let us continue the lesson next class.